Hello, scrappers. It's Saturday. Man, it seems like it's been a week since I've been out here in the workshop. Get me a little bit of workbench time. Been out here almost an hour. And sun's fixing to go down. Still got a lot of snow out here. I've been out here working on this one water pipe. Frost-free. Of course, the outer part of the pipe is copper. Just, turn it off. Didn't want to turn it off. I'll zero it. This thing's been kind of creeping up on me a little bit. May have to clean it. 5 ounces of copper. This is some of the, I still got to clean that piece up, but yeah, let's do that real quick. If I can. See if I can pop it off there with a screwdriver, maybe. There might be a little. Hope everybody's doing okay. Been a kind of a crazy storm. Crazy winter storm, especially in Texas. Oklahoma got hit hard, and then we had some power problems up here, and they started doing rolling blackouts with no warning whatsoever. I never had the blackout, but I think they're only cutting it off for an hour or 2 hours at a time on people. And for wood, if I had the generator ready to go. All I would have to do is put gas in it and been good to go. This is doesn't really want to pop out of there. See if I can get it in a better. Not really. I tell people, I say, if you live in Oklahoma, you need to have camping equipment even if you don't go camping. Usually out here where I'm at, when the power goes out, it's just, it's just, 5 minutes, and then it's back on. But back in October, we're out for 4 or 5 days. And I'm total electric, so pretty dependent on the grid. Actually, I think with a little bit of stuff's in there, they're not going to dock me for it, so it looks like it's glued in there. It doesn't look like it's coming out. So let's throw it on the scale. I got a few other things I want to tear down. 14.8 ounces. Almost a pound. I do need to. Nothing sticking there, which it shouldn't. That's the inside of a frost-free water pipe. Water surrounds that, so it's either going to be stainless steel or brass. Brass is always probably the easiest. Oop, not that one. That one's copper. That one's brass. For all you new scrappers out there, you're going to be running into these this summer, this spring and summer. A lot of people are going to get rid of their old wore out grills, and they'll be ready to get some new ones. So, and this is probably some of the best money on the grill that you're going to get. Sometimes the little jets where the control knobs are, they'll have little brass pieces. And some of them, the whole thing might be brass, some will be cast aluminum. So this piece right here is usually an 18 or a 19, which I got a, what is that, 13/16. So I know I don't have an 18 or 19 socket out here, so let's go into the toolbox. Let's see, I'll turn this light on up here. See what we can find. Chances are anything I'm going to find is going to be down this way. And I know I don't have too many 18s or 19s. They're kind of rare. And that one fits. So instead of walking way back out there, I'll put that in the vise right here. Actually, let me put it in this way. And that's 1/2-inch drive. Yeah, I'll throw a little extension on there. Okay, that's off. And that was actually a 19 millimeter. It looks like we got a piece of plastic or rubber right there. Which I can probably hit that with the angle grinder and peel it right off. Okay, back out the other work area. Starting to cool off. It was 43 degrees, I think it was earlier. Of course, I think I'm half Eskimo. I'm out here in a t-shirt. I get heading out the door. My wife says, "You're not going to wear a jacket?" Because she's in her freezing. I thought, man, it feels good outside. Yeah. After those minus temperatures, yeah, it feels good. And let me put it back in the vise. Kind of hard to pry and poke on something when you're holding it with one hand, and sure don't want to stick yourself with the screwdriver. Okay, I'll set that next to the scale. And then we got these pieces right here. And the way I like to do them, put it in the scale. Twice. I usually try to cut it on two sides opposite each other. Sometimes you might be better off just cutting them down into smaller pieces instead of trying to fight the whole thing. But yeah, you'll probably come across several barbecue grills through the summer. Some people may even pass them up because they're bulky. They take up a lot of room on your load, and they're not really heavy. They're awkward, but there's a few pounds. If you watch a lot of my loads I took in this last year, you'll see that I put them on top of the loads and then I strap them down on top of the load. So I'm just going to cut all 4 of these, get them prepped, and then we'll pry them all apart. That way we don't drag this video out all night. Yeah, one thing I started doing when that virus hit last year about this time, I started stocking up on groceries, canned goods mainly. I got a pretty good little stockpile, and toilet paper. Is kind of learning to be prepared for who knows what, you know. I never dreamed we'd see something like the coronavirus in my lifetime, but here it is. And then the storm here, this is a record-breaking storm, this one that came through, record cold temperatures. I mean, it was all the way down right to the Gulf Coast. Yeah, that's crazy. Probably never see it again in our lifetime, but you never know what this world's going to throw at you. So, I mean, not to get into politics, but we got, you know, foreign powers that would like to see the destruction of the United States. There's a lot of countries out there that don't like us, and then there's a lot of them that do like us. Anyway, you saw how easy that was. Just pry it apart and just get a weight on the brass, and then I'll tear into the regulator piece. But 5.2 ounces. I think a lot of people get too, or think the government's going to step in and help us all the time, but the government's a lot of times limited in what they can do too. So there's a lot of prepper groups out here on YouTube. I've been watching a few of them, and a lot of those guys, some of them, you guys go to the extremes, but some of them have a lot of money they can throw at it too. I remember you had that prepper TV show, and those guys, some of them guys are buying helicopters to take off with. They had all kinds of, I mean, throwing millions of dollars. Some have underground bunkers. You know, us poor boys, we can't afford it. But I try to buy extra, you know, when I go to the dollar store or Dollar Tree, try to buy extra stew, extra chili, you know, items like that I'm going to eat. I can stock it up and, you know, get a little extra. I stocked up a little bit of water before the storm came in. I went and got 7 gallons of gas for the generator. I got about 10 20-pound propane bottles, so I'm good on that. I think it was Dan on K&D Scrapping. He was showing on these, just hit them a few good times and they start separating. And just pry them apart. You got a little lever back here, if you can see that in there. So basically I need to slide this, I think, away from me. There we go. because it was in there, so I had to slide it away that way. Now I got a little piece of tin there, so throw that in my tin bucket. This looks like cast, but the pin right here is probably steel. Done with the hammer, we'll hang it up. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I can feel a little pull on it. This piece here, sheet aluminum. And this piece should just I'll squeeze it in the vise. Turn it down where you can see. There we go. It popped right up. Pull your pin out. Cast aluminum. I believe this is cast aluminum. We'll go ahead. If my spray bottle will work, we'll my copper sulfate solution. Yeah, it's spraying. All right. Find out if it's aluminum or die cast. Looks like it's turning dark there, doesn't it? And that one too. Yep, turned dark. So that's not aluminum. That's die cast. If it stays nice and shiny, then it's cast aluminum. If it turns dark, it's die cast. It's getting dark in here. Okay, it's my die cast bucket so far. I'm gonna have to bring a barrel in pretty soon for it. Yeah, this is usually nice and bright lit up, but it's covered with snow. So I hope it should be pretty well melted off tomorrow. I think it's gonna get up around 50. So it did some serious melting today. Okay, this is what I was just working on a little bit ago. I hit it. I don't know if you can see it here. I don't even know if you can see what I was looking at here a minute ago. I hit it here, and it's brass. Here it's brass. And these are frost-free, for those that don't know what these are. That means it doesn't shut off here. It goes inside the wall of the house for this crawl space, or maybe it stays above freezing, and it shuts off way back here. So, what we'll do, get the angle grinder, or actually what I can do is probably cut it. Okay, it looks like cut all the way through. Clear some room out here. So we know that's brass. And this piece here is, I can see by the end of it, it's brass, but it's inside. This whole thing's filled with water. Whenever it's on, you got your shut off actually here. So when it shuts off here, where it hooks into your plumbing under the house, then the water's supposed to drain out of this area. So when you set it up, it's actually supposed to be a little downhill. Okay, here we got a screwdriver. Yeah, kind of miss being out here in the workshop. Get out here and just tinker. Yeah, let me try to get that. It's trying to turn and trying to hang on to it, and yeah, it's not wanting to turn anyway. There it goes. It started to strip it out, but it's starting to turn. Didn't want to give way easy. No telling how old this thing is. Yeah, I had a kind of exciting week even before the storm hit. One day, sitting in there, my wife says, I think it was Friday before the storm hit, and my wife says, for Saturday. And the snow really came in Sunday. She goes, oh, we got water running out of the hot water tank. I thought, oh, great. You know. So I went and looked, and water was just coming out of the pop-off valve, or pressure release valve, whichever you guys are more familiar with. So I was thinking, okay, I guess I'm going to have to run up to Ace Hardware. Now the screws should be brass. Yep. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to run up to Ace Hardware and buy one and put it in. Because it was just kind of dribbling out. It wasn't spraying out or anything. More of it just a dribble. Will that come off? So I thought, well, you know, I've got all these out here because this is the one that came out of there. You can see I got a lot of calcium buildup in there. But I got a whole basket full of those things out here. That and the drain piece. I don't know if you guys can. I got several back here. So I grabbed 3 or 4 in there and looked pretty good. You know, cleaned them up. Cleaned one up that looked the best. Put it in there, working just fine. And then I think later that day, my daughter comes in. She comes in and says, there's water running out of the well house. I thought, really? So that's great. Got this storm coming in and everything. That's kind of a little bit loose there now. There it came off. Piece broke off. Now, die cast or aluminum? I think it's probably die cast. Yeah, that bottle's froze up. So I got checking the well house, and where it reduces down to ½ inch line to come to the outside spigots, one of the glue joints came loose, which I didn't actually realize that at first. I was thinking it was broke. So I thought, well, I'll just cut the ½ inch pipe and put a cap on it, which seems like every time I gotta do some plumbing on that, I always have to get new PVC cement. That should be brass. And then this is brass. It's got to get this. These washers might even be brass. I'm gonna have to clean that up on the bench grinder. So I went up there and got a little 2-pack, had the primer and the glue, which I always get the rainy day. That way, even if it's wet, it's going to stick good. Yeah, that's brass. I'm just going to clean this up, the wire wheel. Yep, slid right apart. Awesome. Let me hit the side of that. Didn't spark, so I'm going to say it's brass. Brass, good money. Not as good as copper, but next best thing. So I went and got I just picked up what, 2-3 caps, something like that, so I'd have a few spares. And then I got the little 2-pack of the glue and the primer. which I still had good primer left. The glue I had was bad. I don't know if that thing would unscrew. Probably not. And I guess maybe it will. But great. Never hurts to check, does it? The plastic should be all glue, all clean brass now. Put all the pieces on. Well, let me make sure this is zeroing out. Yep. Put all our pieces on there, see what we got. Oh yeah, these two pieces. 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. Not too shabby. $1.50 maybe. I'm not sure what brass is bringing at this time. I guess I don't check prices all the time. Occasionally I'll call and get a price on 1 or 2 items, but usually I wait till I'm about ready to sell. And then I'll get a call. I had someone mention in the last video that I didn't weigh the unit before I started, and I didn't give prices on what sealed units, or wasn't the last video before, what sealed units were bringing, or what the copper was paying, and which I didn't check around at my yard to find those prices. But another thing is, you know, the prices at one yard here and at another yard can be way different. And as most of you know, prices in one part of the country or in another country can be totally different than where I'm at. So I thought it'd probably just be best to see. Now the 19 is too big. If that's still the 19, yeah, that's the 19, but it's too big for this one. But I gave the weights, which I forgot to weigh it at the front of the video, first part. So what I did after I had it cut down, I took all the pieces and put them on there, and weighed it, and then I did that after I weighed the copper. So you could take the copper weight and then you could take the steel weight and add them together. Let's get in here. What do we got? There's a 17. I got a 17 and a 19. 17 is too small. I think 19 is too big. Yep. So I really need like an 18. I'm not really sure if I have one. I guess I'm going to have to buy one, because I know I'm going to get a bunch of these things through the summer. Yeah, it's a 17. Oh, mercy. Maybe I'll just have to hold off on that one until later. Might be an idea. Anyway, this video is probably getting a little long anyway. It's going to be warm tomorrow. Warmer here in Oklahoma. I think they're talking Tuesday of this next week. It's supposed to be 65. So I think a year ago at this time I had my dandelions coming up. So I think I'm going to call it a video and call it a night. It's 6:30 now. And we'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to get out here tomorrow and make one for Wednesday. That way I try to stay ahead a little bit, which I'm going to have some good weather, so I'll find something out there to record. I'm trying not to keep doing the same stuff over and over and over. Trying to have some new stuff. And about another week of this, and this month will be over, and then my ad comes out. Now I'm not going to get swamped in March. But I get a lot of farmers and ranchers and stuff like that, and some people, you know, just appliances. And so I'll probably get a few calls. I think last year about this time I had like 4 calls for the month. April I had about 6 calls. And then May and June it just took off. I was doing it. I did all I could to keep up. It was running me ragged. So then I quit running the ad, but I still stayed busy for the next 2-3 months, which it kind of slowed down a little each month. But I was trying to get stuff caught up here, and I kept getting calls, and I was trying to clear out a spot here, and I clear a little hole, I get a call and fill it back up. Clear a hole and fill it back up. It went that way for a while, but I still got 8 more of those condenser units out there, so I got 6 dryers I need to tear down to throw in this trailer. So, of course, it's going to be a muddy mess out here too, so I don't know if I'll do too much out here over the weekend or tomorrow, which I've still got. I got to get those coils out there in my stack. I still got microwaves and dishwashers here. Of course, I really don't want to do another microwave video right now. I've got plenty of stuff inside to clean up, so I don't have to go out in the mud. But I got to find something for a video, which I still got all this little stuff. But let's take a quick look at that. Starting to cool off out here. My fingers are starting to get cold after a little over an hour. But got a little hardware cloth here that can go in the tin trailer. Got an old horn here, old drill, which is plastic and aluminum. This is going to be a nice piece right here. That's brass. And that piece inside is probably brass. I probably don't have to take it apart. I could probably just weigh it and go, because that's probably all brass. What I might do for Wednesday's video, I've got a little pile of transformers down here, kind of hiding in the shadows there. I'll shed a little light on it. So I got 2 here that are just filled with, I don't know what that is, just black tar. So I probably won't tear those down. I'll probably cut the wires off, maybe see if I can't get those unscrew. I'll get them off. And I'll show you how I do my transformers. Now, here's a nice piece of brass. Nice big old heavy duty brass rod. So I just got it stuff. I'm not putting that in my brass bucket, so I stuck it next to it, which I got that brass barrel in there now, so I need to just take it out there. I'm getting a bucket full of these little motors. I need to tear down one of these days. That's basically stuff to be melted. And this is the kind of stuff for my wife to tear down later. And that's a bunch of brass I need to clean up in that bucket. Got some sheet aluminum there, the cast. Got a few transformers down here, which I think I got some more, you know, these little transformers. I think I got a few more up here. Of course, there's copper bearing motors. And then I got some little ribbon wire up here. Yeah, I got a little bit of stuff here and there to tear down. I'm not sure what I've got in that room. I've got this bucket of motors. Little motors here I can tear down and clean up. And got some extrusion here that's got a bunch of putty and stuff. I don't know if the yard kind of docks you for that or what, but I figured I'd just, I don't know if I want to take the time to try to clean that. Got the wire wheel or something. Got a bunch of electric motors here to tear down. So, planning to go and then start bringing more in. I wanted to get some more cleaned up on that fence line before I get too busy too. I got a little more short iron out there to cut up, and I got quite a bit of rebar I need to pick up and probably move down to my area back in the woods. I got these 2 little bitty TVs here to break down one of these days too. That might be a little video in itself. Those tiny little TVs. That one's kind of a TV radio combination. Probably not much in it. A little bit of copper circuit board, and that's about it, I guess. But so I got 3 microwaves here. Plus I got a, like I say, stack in the other room. And like I said, I'd like to get this cleaned up. Here's a piece out of a car radiator. It's got some brass on it here, but then the rest of it looks like aluminum. So I could probably take it to the bandsaw, cut it about here, cut it about there, and then, I don't know, dirty brass maybe? Of course, I could probably cut the threads off where it meets up to it, and have clean brass, and then just cut it off here, clean brass, and cut it there and throw it in dirty brass. I don't know. Something for the play with. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. If you guys enjoyed this video, if I didn't bore you to death, give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. If you'd like to see other videos, I'm tearing things down, loads I bring in, loads I take to the scrapyard. Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Hopefully I did something, said something in this video that you enjoyed, got a kick out of. But scrapping's a hobby for me. I don't do it for a living. I hope to, in a year from now, to retire. I won't be totally debt-free, but I'll have a lot of my bills taken care of, and I should get along pretty good. And then scrap with this, scrapping money, and it should supplement my Social Security real well. I got a little bit of 401k, so it still won't be for a living. It'll just be for mad money. It may go a little bit of here and a little bit there on the bills, but just to help get them knocked out. Christmas money. But I try to keep it fun. I enjoy it. I try not to make a job out of it, and going out and picking stuff up this summer might be a job. Trying to work 8 hours a day in the heat and then come home, eat dinner, jump in the truck, and go out and load stuff up. At work I can stay in front of a fan and it stays pretty good, but you get out there in this Oklahoma humidity, loading stuff up, man, I take a hand towel with me, sweat rag. Anyway, you guys take care. This video is getting pretty long, and hope you enjoyed it. Say that again and again and again, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.